Hey, it's Adam and Katelyn, and this is Enta Solutions. Do you want to be featured in our next episode?
Just click the links below.
Hi, I'm Adam Kolozetti.
And I'm Katelyn Bullock.
And we are so excited because today we are filming our very first episode of Enta Asks. And what are we asking on Enta Asks?
Today, we're really fortunate to have some amazing guests. We have Bruno, Lindia, and Miranda Sallis here. And Bruno is the creator of Dream, Reach, Achieve. And he's going to talk about what makes his company so perpetually epic. And we're really excited because we've actually experienced it from the customer side, and we know.
Mm-hmm. I'm not only an owner, I'm a customer. Right?
There you go. Good job. Thanks
I'm
for
an
having us here.
investor. Yeah. Thanks for being here, guys.
Thank
So, Dream, Reach, Achieve. Tell me about the name of that.
Yeah, Dream, Reach, Achieve. The name Dream, Reach, there's a ...
Right.
Achieve.
That's the three
So
dots.
the dream is,
It's not a typo.
it's not a typo.
Okay.
Not at all.
It's intentional.
No. So the dream is basically, the whole thing is that it's hard to articulate some of the, it's like this interview right now. It's hard to articulate what your thoughts are going to be and where you want to go in life and your business and all that kind of stuff. So you have to find a mechanism to, basically chalk it, and you got to get it from here to here, and then you talk it. And then the ... is work your butt off.
Right.
Because it's
Is that
not
where
that easy.
Miranda comes in?
She works way harder than I do. But, and then the ... is just working your butt off.
Yeah,
And
right.
then achieve is just kind of counting the pennies at the end kind of thing.
And
really.
then you start over.
Absolutely.
Do it
That's
over
basically
again.
what
Yeah,
it is.
move the benchmark and start again.
So there's probably a lot in that ...
Yeah.
Yeah. That's incredible.
That's the difference between dreaming and achieving.
I love it.
Yeah.
And the dreaming is the fun part,
Yeah,
right?
sure.
The mapping it out, getting super excited, setting goals. That's the easy part. It's actually then putting those ... into action and reaching that is where people fall short.
And you guys, you offer a transformative workshop where you help businesses and people essentially get to that ... right?
Yeah.
Well, we want to get them
The
to the
work.
achieve.
Yeah.
Right. And make them very aware of the ... The way everybody laughs about the ... and they think it's a dot, it's a bit of a typo. And I agree with Miranda 100%. This is kind of why we work together.
Mm-hmm.
Is that it's pretty simple to dream. Just kind of hang out. Nobody's around you. There's no risk. And then reaching is kind of, oh man, I got to stretch. I got to get there. And then like the ... maybe it's a little inappropriate for me to talk about, but it's kind of like being a performer or sports person. And Miranda's background in sports is amazing. And it's like, it's like game day. There's nothing like game day, right? But it's such a small part of your life, and everybody loves game day. It's the bigger box that we call eat poop box, where you have to do your accounting.
Oh, this stuff.
You're traveling like
Yeah.
that. To me, travel was just the killer.
Mm-hmm.
I just didn't enjoy being on the road all the time and living out of a suitcase and being away from the family. So that is ... is the big eat, what box that you have to do when you want to achieve your goals. Like, in sports, working out, like
Yeah.
doing weights 7 times a week. It's like, yeah. So that's what it is.
So you offer a series of workshops.
Yeah.
And we were lucky enough to experience the pre-transformational workshop, which, we thought we were had a good foundation. And you guys took us to a whole new level, and it was really incredible. So your main client base is businesses, small businesses, large businesses. Is there any certain sector that's you gear towards, or anybody? Who's your people? That you
People
help?
who need it.
Who need it?
People who are ready to put in the work.
I like that because I feel as though, when we did the workshop, we really got pushed into some uncomfortable conversations, and were we not ready to go there, I don't think it would have been as effective. So
Totally.
that's really interesting.
Yeah.
So when you meet clients and you talk to businesses, how do you kind of gauge if they're ready?
They're ready when really they start saying, you know what, we got everything under control. And right there and then is it's that's the craziest thing you can ever think of. in the state of everything is fine, right? And so I know I'm going to get a whole bunch of dislikes when I say this because I don't actually believe. Miranda laughs because she knows I live in the dislike world, and then you
I'm
kind of
gonna
go,
be the first one.
Yeah.
We've actually disabled the dislike
Oh,
button.
did you?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Just gotta do more of it.
No, because
Positive.
there are a lot of people out there, and trust me, I really respect your trade about change management.
Yeah.
And so I took that concept years ago and saying, with the help of a couple of my coaches, including Ray Pereira, and he said, in order to have change, something has to die, right? And so really we're only adjusting our way around. It's kind of like driving. You don't drive like this. You just drive with some small little adjustments. And the whole pre-transformation workshop and journey is really about, look, you're not changing your business. You're just, something's going to transform before something happens. It's kind of getting you ready to get ready to go on the field to do something.
Yeah.
Like it's
have the
pre-stretched.
have the forethought to course correct before it's a off the road moment, right?
Totally.
And you guys, you've been doing these since 2007?
Yeah, 2007, 2008. Yeah.
So how many?
Miranda was 4 back then.
And how many have you done since 2007? Do you think?
That's a good question. I don't know, about 200.
Wow.
I when people say I don't like to exaggerate, you're just exaggerating. But the thing is that, people go, oh, hundreds or thousands. And I started thinking about that when we did yours and you asked me that question. It's probably about 200. And one of the reasons why we haven't done more is just, or I haven't done more too, is that life got in the way and they're pretty exhausting.
They're intense.
They're really intense. And I just had other businesses to do. And to be honest with you, I just don't onboard everybody. They really have to have that criteria of like, given a, and there's nothing more fanatical about, running your business. And if somebody just says, I'll take this and I just want to make some more money, I don't know, it's not, what do you think?
There's not that much value in it. That's the beauty of having it set up like a consultancy. Is like, we will put in the work if you're ready to put in the work.
Right.
And we have that ability to vet, say, you know what, like, you're not ready.
Right.
Yeah.
And if you are ready,
Get back to the practice field.
if you're ready, you can like or dislike, but you can also click the link below and engage you guys, right? Talk about it.
Absolutely.
Engage us, yeah, because
Yeah.
I mean, you guys have been a huge part of what we're talking about. And one thing I want to really clarify is that I'm not bashing the virtual world or anything like this. We're in and we're out.
Mhm.
Like, we're not here to sell you, hey, 14 easy steps to, in the next 4 months, in the next 10 months, we're going to get
Yeah.
you into the mental gym. That's not us,
Yep.
right? We walk in, we prep you a little bit, right? We kind of tell you, okay, there's no net. Right?
There's no net.
I think you said it'll either make you or break you.
Yeah, it's either you're going to make it or you're
Casually
you're gonna quit.
loaded.
Yeah, and
I
I
actually
think,
didn't sleep the night before. That's the truth. Yeah.
are you really? Yeah. No, but I just want to make that clear. It's not like get hooked. What do you call it? Clickbait, right?
Right.
Where you click this and get us in there. Don't worry, it'll be fine. And then
Yeah.
you got a 400-year membership at the gym. That's not
No.
our program. That's not my program. To be quite honest, can I be really honest in this program? It's
Yeah.
like, I'm not the guy. I kind of get disinterested. I'm more into get in, show you how to do it. Once you get it, you got it. I'm not that smart. Miranda's way smarter than I am. That's why we work together. And I'm not trying to be facetious. I know what I know. I help you out. And then that's it. There are better people to help you through the rest of your journey in the microscopic areas, right? So
Like you guys.
Right.
Right.
Enter.
That's right.
So,
Hand off, high five.
I
Miranda,
say cheers. What
Yeah.
do you- This is
Cheers,
This brand new
cheers.
water.
Yeah.
It's fantastic. There you go. If you can't, remember we said, if you can't have fun, go home.
There you go.
go
Cheers.
home, and if
Yeah.
you're not crying, you're not trying.
Yeah, you like that one?
Okay.
I'm to
That
break
one-
out the tears,
That one,
Miranda.
you know where that one came? Did you see that?
Yeah.
That one came out because Katelyn, I can't remember your friend's name, the nutritionist,
Yeah, Megan.
Megan,
Yeah.
and they're walking like, "Did you ever cry at work? I cried at work.
Oh,
And
yeah.
you guys are gonna hate
Everybody's
me for
been
this,
there.
and you're gonna, people think we're weak." And I'm like, I got to comment on this.
He
right?
did.
Like,
He did. He had
I
our
was
back.
like, it had nothing to do, and and it pops up, and I go, "If you ain't crying, you ain't trying." So good job or whatever.
You know what?
So,
I read that and I immediately thought, because my dad used to coach our soccer team growing up, and he used to make us run up. There was this like one steep hill. And
You know why he makes you run? Because he couldn't do it. That's
yeah,
why.
probably, yeah.
I
I got
wanted
two friends
to.
that would sit at the top, and to this day, they still talk about crying at Coach Chris's practice.
Right.
But which I think is so cool because both you guys have sports backgrounds. Like Miranda's very involved in the business side of sports, and you've been a coach.
Yeah, he used to do it
forever. So I'm really interested. How has that business coaching influenced how you do your Dream Reach Achieve and how you bring that to the business world?
What do you
Lots of
think?
analogies.
Yeah, that's true.
Talk about moving the goalpost and Katelyn gets lost.
Yeah, sorry.
I don't know what to do.
I don't know. Why don't you take you're way more into sports than I am. So
No, I think that when it comes down to helping people achieve goals, that coaching element and that passion that's so prevalent in sport kind of just oozes out. So I don't think it's a purposeful integration. I think there's lots to be learned in the sport world into business and business into sport from the way people navigate decision making and the passion that they bring to their daily activities. I think that's where sport lends some enthusiasm, but I don't think it's ever like a meaningful point of contact or context when we're doing these sessions.
Well, one of the things I really liked from your program and I took away was that know when you're on the field, when you're on the bench. Right? And I don't know sports, so I feel like that was like really good. But you know, it gave a nice picture, and like you said, analogies. It's good. It helps people relate to it, right? In a way that doesn't feel so daunting. Because sometimes thinking about our own businesses is a little intense and daunting, and in a way we can relate it to something that takes the pressure off.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that. It's great.
Well, I think the thing that I like to relate back to sport is there's a timer. Both on, you build a team and you hear these crazy stories about sport. And I think people in business kind of think, and I think this is just life in general until a major crisis happens in your life and you're just like, oh my God, I just got this disease. I got 3 months to live. Right? And I think this fallacy in business that I try to relate back at sport, because you get 2 timeouts or 3 timeouts in football or hockey, and that's it. Right? And then you have an intermission. You got 10 minutes. And if you don't come on the ice or the pitch,
Yeah, if you're not prepared.
you're done. Right? And the season starts and it ends. So there's a lot of stories, like I started mentioning, is that people said, this player didn't get along with this player stole this player's wife, but they still had the same goal. But that's because they had 12 weeks. And then after 12 weeks, they never have to talk to each other again. Yeah. Right? But I think there's a bit of an issue and a misconception that in business, you just kind of go till you go. Like, if we don't get it done today, we'll get it done tomorrow.
Yeah,
and that's
that person doesn't quite fit, but, it's a lot of effort to go and make this change or make that happen. And when it's like game day and who's ready, it's so much more cut and dry than the game of business where it's like, wow, you had an off day, try again. Mm-hmm. It's a little bit more cutthroat in a way, but also like if you can make that link and think about your teammates in work and business as players on a game that you're trying to win, it kind of changes the perspective a little bit to put it out of your personal and into your, this is what I want to achieve.
Well, that's so interesting because most businesses don't know, most people in their business don't know if they're winning. The senior leadership might know and they might have a couple metrics, but like the game of business.
And yeah, I had this conversation today around strategic planning and operationalizing that plan, right? Yeah. It's the same with the dreaming and the achieving, right? You can put all the metrics and all the KPIs that you want on paper,
but if you don't have that ...
Exactly, and everybody doesn't know what game you're playing, right? If that can't be articulated right down to the intern that you've hired, well, that's where companies lose their footing, and that's global. That's not just in an entrepreneurial situation, but when it's your own business.
Yeah.
And there's so much personal passion and personal identity attached to your outcomes, it's very hard to strategize without putting your own personal feelings on the line, right? Which is, I think, a little bit what you guys learned is we know each other, we get along, we're business partners, but like the depth of knowing and the depth of are we really trying to achieve the same thing is where rubber hits the road.
And that was interesting too, because Adam and I had gone through a lot of that on our own, like building it, But whenever we would get to those conversations, we'd get as comfortable as we wanted to get, and then we would back away.
'cause-
And we didn't have anybody else to take us that step further.
Mhm.
And that was the difference between and wow.
Yeah.
Wow, great. That's good to hear.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So,
Yeah.
what? But most people. When you're done, Mike, where's the mic drop?
May I add something for those of you that are
Those
even-
of you at home.
those of you at home comfortable in your chair that should be getting uncomfortable. One of the I'll let you know a little secret tactic that Miranda and I use obviously is that once we see you guys kind of or the participants getting a little bit, I don't know if we should
Yeah.
go there. We kind of go, you know what, we just have to take this call, and we leave.
Yeah.
And we lock the doors, you're kind of like, now what do we do?
Good
And it's just kind of like
luck.
launching an emotional grenade in there.
Totally.
Yeah.
And people say that's kind of mean. We're saying, well, just so that you know, we didn't do it. You brought it up. And we're just going to let you guys chit chat about this. And I think that's if you ask about the secret ingredient about what we do in those sessions is that if we can open it, right? Can open it. Did you like that?
Yeah.
If we can open
what
it,
I did
then we just you guys will keep going.
Circling around,
The
yeah.
hardest part about that can is just getting that out, you know what I mean? After that, you just pour it out.
Yeah.
Right? So I think that's we may as well tell them the secret. The other secret is that sometimes we go
I don't know
out.
if you're ready.
We go out. But I mean, we go.
Wait,
exciting.
spoiler alert.
Yeah, spoiler alert, but no, this is kind of like behind. You guys want,
Click if you want to find out.
click for the 5 steps. But wait, no, in all seriousness, is like there's a couple of times, including your session, like we kind of go, okay, let's go, and we're like, ooh, this is not going to end well. Like, poor
Right?
guys, it's like I feel bad for them,
Yeah.
and there are other times like you know what, they're just kind of complain about the budget or something
Yeah,
like that.
let
But
'em
there are
work through
times
it.
where, right, we're
Yeah.
kind of like, oh boy,
This might not end well.
yeah, you go in first.
Yeah.
Use
What you
Miranda
guys
as a barrier.
Hey, don't forget to subscribe to our channel to get all the latest updates.
Hope you enjoy the rest of the episode.
Yeah.
Well, I think that is gonna be my favorite part of it, right? Like this idea of game day. We talked about the on the field, on the bench. Game day in sports, right? You're focused, your adrenaline's high. If you screw up, you're gonna hear about it from me, right? And vice versa. It's like very honest, passionate conversation and feedback.
Yeah.
But in business,
We dance
sometimes
around it.
You dance around it, right? It's game day. We're here. We're making live or die decisions, and we're not truly saying what we think. And I think that is the power. For me, that was the most epic thing what you guys brought is like, hey, it's game day.
Yeah.
Nothing on the table.
Well, and I think the difference is
Cool.
in business really is do you all have the same goal? That's why ultimately like there's that sense of like inner security of like if I call you out on your whatever, I might actually be wrong. Like maybe I don't quite get it and you're the one who really gets it. And that's where this whole what do you want to achieve comes into play. Is the more clarity you can have around purpose in a business, any business, those are the the big ones that have success are the ones that right from the CEO down to the maintenance workers know what they're there for.
Right?
And it's easy when it's like we need to win on Sunday.
Yeah, and
Right? And you didn't do your job because I read the playbook. Well, how many organizations have that kind of cut and dried playbook? Like this is how you go about your day.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's brilliantly put because that's number one, and I think the number two thing, because everybody asks, why do you work with Miranda? Why does Miranda work with me, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera? Why do you guys work together? I believe that, we could want, and it goes back to a sports kind of theme, is that you do have the end of the game, end of the season, start of the season, end of the season kind of thing, right? And like Miranda's got different goals than I do, right? And I have different goals than Miranda. But as long as we're aware of what kind of our goals are, then call it the micro goal of running a business because, now becomes, I get how long I get to work with Miranda. And if you don't really appreciate and enjoy the journey for, who she is, who I am, and who you are during that game day, you're not going to have it next week. You might not even make the team, right?
Right.
So think about what's going on right now. People are kind of scrambling for funding, which is a huge problem. And the problem was in their dream phase, when they were planning out the company, they really maybe listened to some people, and we talk about this all the time about funding, is that they probably believe the 1% down is a really good way to go. No, you got to listen to the person that says cash is king. If you don't have the cash, you're not going to grow forward, right? So in your dream planning, right? If you don't take that into consideration, man, something like this hits, you're dead and you're done. And so it's a real appreciation of the other person's goals, because there's no way you'll have the same goals, like in life.
In life.
You know?
Yeah.
In life, and risk tolerances too, what you're willing to put on
Absolutely.
the table and what you're willing to sacrifice or not, right? And that having alignment in that is huge, and you guys really get to the bottom of those things. And I think, and we talked a lot about the pre-transformational course, but there's other courses that you have in there. And you mentioned the word funding, which reminded me, we had a chat about that. There's actually funding in order to support people like growing businesses that are hiring new employees that actually cover trainings, and a lot of people don't know about that.
No, well, I've known about it for a while, but it's the federal government training, and it has nothing to do with
your company.
Yeah,
but
what Trudeau's introduced two things: Serb and Herb. Sorry, I'm glad I threw that out. That was it for all my buddies back home. They love that. No, but seriously, there's a federal grant, and here in Alberta, there's the Alberta Job Grant, Training Grant, and in BC they just changed the name, and I know there's one in Ontario, but it's a federal grant that helps your company grow, and that's what the money's set aside for, because the government's not stupid, right? The more people are working, the more taxes they collect, right? The more CPP, so they can pay for mine, because I'm older than you guys. Like, you guys got to work hard, you know what I'm saying, to get me retired. So
living the dream.
Yeah, that's what it is, right? So Freedom 95. You guys remember Freedom 55? That used to be a thing.
I do.
Yeah, Freedom 55 does not exist. You know.
But like, to that point is that, you know, for companies who are like, hi, I'd love to get you guys on board, but, you know, do I have it in the budget? They need to be aware of these avenues, because you can't afford not to get help. You like it. You
got to spend money to make money, Katelyn.
It's so true, right? But
totally. I think, like, how bad do you want it? That always comes down to.
Which is the whole vetting process of it's not for everybody.
Yeah.
And you got to be at a certain place with a certain drive and a certain vision to have the appetite to peel layers off and to be vulnerable and want to come out the other side in a different mindset.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, Bruno, it was in your book, I think, Alone at the Top, right? It said something like, if you're not willing to do it and go that extra mile, then someone else sure as hell is, right? Yeah. So,
yeah. Well, I remember, like, just like Miranda says, if it's not for everybody, and you know, if you don't, it's not about if you don't have the budget. If you're not going to find the budget, then really, it's kind of like, you know what? It's like when you have kids, and they really, really, really like an activity, and they're actually really, really good at it. They're passionate about it. Forget about being good. They're passionate about it. You're going to find everything, you know, you're going to do anything you can to keep them in that activity. To a certain point, you know, we talk about silly stories. I'm good for a good, stupid story. But what really inspired me are my parents, right? And so my parents used to say, you know what? I never want you to steal. I never want you to, you know, hurt somebody. I never want you to, you know, physically with a gun shoot somebody or something. Unless you're trying to feed your family, right? And so these days you're kind of like, well, boy, I would never do that. But put yourself in that situation, you know, post-war. Like, I mean, people were stealing from other people. My point is that when I started, my first journey point was, we were just talking about this, is that, you know, with my my coach Ray, I was over at the Saskatchewan Roughriders, and I met him, and he was kind of an interesting guy. Ray, I know you're watching, and I always call you interesting. That's code for interesting, right? But the thing is that all due respect, like, he put me on this journey, and I was just starting a company. And if ever you guys want to find out really all the details on how crappy I was feeling those days, and how we didn't have a shitload of money to spend, and I just said I found the value. I really believed in Ray in the process, and you find the money, and the rest is history. We wouldn't be here had I not believed in my company as much as I did.
Right.
And there are a lot of companies that have come and gone and kind of called me like, you're just wasting your time. And I'm like, well, let me waste my time. It's, hey, you know what? It's my guitar. Let me play a song.
Yeah.
So, anyways.
So we talked a lot about, you know, what makes your offering and how epic it is, and the types of businesses and people that are ready for it. But you could also potentially become a coach for your guys' program, right?
Yeah.
What kind of people, or what kind of skills would you look for in that?
Yeah. You got to really, really, really want it.
Yep.
Yeah, this isn't like, I don't know, that's probably the only thing it's probably one of the reasons why we work together, is that if you don't really, really want it,
Yeah.
you know, it's kind of like a puppy dog, which Miranda's got a really nice dog.
Do.
The thing is that, you know, you can tell, like I call it the puppy effect. Like the puppy will come as, you know, and they'll know who's going to be nice to them.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is, right? And clients are the same way. If they feel that you're just in it for the 37-week program at $44,000 divided by this, they're just gonna, you know, some of them do. Like the corporate clients, they have no problems back in the day. It was yesterday.
Yeah.
Just strike. It's a thing to do. You're not on our training supplier list. It's fine. But I'm talking about people that really, really, really want to make a difference and want to learn how to deliver our program. Because to be honest, we are busy. I mean, in terms of, we probably turn away. Miranda doesn't even know this, but I turn away a lot of requests. What's that?
What?
Yeah, what are you doing? Well, because I mean, you want to. I mean, at the same time, you want to. And I'm not trying to like, whoa, you know, like you were that big. No, you've got to be careful. I mean, you don't want to spend 3 days of your life and kind of waste your time and get a paycheck. There's a lot easier ways, you know.
Yeah.
From downtown Ottawa, we can steal a car anytime. And sell it.
It's the same with selecting clients. Selecting people that are going to represent a brand is a more than just like, have you checked these boxes? Like, can you deliver this? Well, anybody can click a PowerPoint and go through it, but I think what Bruno's trying to get at is that passion of delivery, and that leadership is not something that you can appoint. Right? That's not something that you can just hand off and be like, well, you read the manual, you know what to do, follow the steps. There's something innate about leadership and taking people on a journey that doesn't happen because you really are keen to do it. It's a learned behavior for some, but also there's that age-old, like, just because you have a certain level of experience or a certain resume doesn't make you a leader. Right?
So doesn't make you good at doing that. And we talked about your ability to sense the room and know when to give space or push or engage or redirect to get them to come back around, or break down some sport analogy that I can't understand. Like the ability to read the room, that is something that you can't teach that.
No.
So, you know, you got to have that as course leaders, and as, you know, you guys taking us on this journey. And it was a journey, right? We didn't even know we were being led down this, but, you know, but that is the magic.
Yeah.
That's the magic in it. And it's really, really powerful.
Yeah, I think the toughest part, and I kind of spoke to Miranda about this beforehand, because, you know, it's always just a reminder, is you invited us, everybody invites us for dinner afterwards. Because it's like a full day, go for dinner.
It's that good. Everybody wants to hang out with us. I don't know what it is.
Right? No, but you guys did.
Right? We did,
and I'm
naturally.
like, Miranda, we're not going, right?
Yeah.
It's like, because
It's your time to debrief.
Yeah. So it's kind of like, if we show up, the session continues, and, you know, the stories continue, and really you need, and you guys did something unique. I'll leave it to yourselves, but yeah, that's kind of like the saddest part about the thing is we can't hang out at night, right? But it's almost like, you know, the doctor doesn't hang out with the patient after they're cured for too long, right? Because it's kind of creepy. And so we've seen things.
So this is awkward.
You know, but really, I know that you guys in your heart wanted us, hey, join us, and this and that and the other thing, and we're just like, you know, we're busy.
Yeah. It's part of the journey.
I wasn't busy. We went downstairs and you guys caught us actually looking down. Look where they are, right? But it's part of the
table
process.
mic'd.
No, but you guys were on that big height and you were like overlooking, you know. So no, but that's part of the journey. Quality time to kind of go, oh my gosh, or, you know, or not, right?
Process.
You're right, because the between time was just as valuable, because it's coming at you fast.
Totally.
Right? And so to be able to unbox some more stuff that we needed to unbox and delve in and really come back the next day like ready. right? It was, and you guys gave us the space to do that, which was really great, So it's such a cool program because everybody and their brother right now online is offering courses and stuff and claim to fame, but what you guys do is truly like transformational, and it takes people through that. So we really appreciate, being on and sharing that story and being able to have gone through it and be able to speak to that because it's amazing.
Oh, that's cool.
Thank you.
And you know what was really cool about working with you guys is kind of the same reason when you left. You never know what I'm going to say. That's scripted here. Okay, it wasn't cool. No, it was really cool about working, and you mentioned what kinds of clients.
Yeah.
It goes back to, some people say, okay, and you guys are really smart people. You guys are engineers and understand all the, the supply chain management and everything like that. And I always remember, people asking me about this other coaching program with the HOF is that why your program over Peter Pan's program? I don't know if you knew Peter Pan had a program. But I was just,
The Peter program.
The other guy. The guy
Never
That's part of our magic.
That's it.
That's it.
But trying to be serious. But the real reason you asked me, what kind of coaches would we like to, kind of train and stuff like that. It goes back to that whole supply chain. You're standing in front of, call it supply chain manager, decision maker, and they go, why pick your program versus Adam's program? Right?
Yeah.
And I always come down to, and correct me if I'm wrong for you, is like, because we want to, we don't have to. Miranda's gainfully employed. She's got more projects, like seriously, like, she's
I don't know how to say no.
but you're an entrepreneur and there's no shortage of things for you to do right now.
Yeah.
And right now I could be doing my old trade and, I could be, searching for an accountant or an IT guy making money. I could be changing tires. I can be playing music. I could play at the corner and play music, but I'm choosing to do this. And that's one of the reasons why, if somebody wants to learn how to do this or even be our client, that's the biggest differentiation is that we chose to. And that's what was really cool about you guys. You guys have access to, the PMI, the BAIA, the PEGA, the MOUSC, and that, and you guys went, whoa, hold on a second, inspired enough by these two people that we know got other things going on in their lives, and you took a shot at it, and really appreciate it. That's what was really cool is the true belief in us, so that's cool. Yeah.
So other than, clicking on the link we'll put below here, what's the best way to get a hold of you guys or to ask for questions?
Pigeons.
Pigeons.
My pigeons.
Man, you're listening. That's what I say all the time.
You guys are everywhere and nowhere.
Yeah. Exactly.
Smoked off.
You know what?
The B signal in the sky is what I think.
You like that?
Yeah.
No, but anyways, you gotta have fun. But let me tell you something. I hate cell phones, right?
Okay.
And I always tell my kid. I used to tell my kids. He goes, "Dad, you got a cell phone? This, that, and the other thing." It's so funny because you listen to my stupid stories. But anyways, I said, you know what? When it's all done, when it's all said and done, and I don't have to be in business, and I don't need a phone, you're gonna get a little piece of paper if you're really my friend. And Reggie the pigeon is going to kind of find you and get you that. So it's funny that you say pigeons. But what was the question?
Website. There's a website.
Oh, okay, there's a website.
Excellent.
There's a website and a pigeon.
And this is why he has Miranda.
Yeah. I can't remember. What are we doing here? How did I get here? Okay. No, anyways.
We'll include the link.
Oh yeah, give us a link. We'll put it in the post below so people can click and check out all the courses. And then there's bootstrap it. There's ways to get access to these tools and these amazing workshops. So like you said, make it happen. You can't get there on your own. You could be an expert and still not get there on your own.
Yeah.
It's really powerful to have somebody take you on this journey.
Hey, you know what? We're not used to being on this side. We're used to being on that
Right?
side.
Yeah.
You know what? Honestly, tell the people what you guys are all about. Because we did a little transformational session with you guys.
Oh.
And
Yeah.
I think, not what we did, but tell people what you guys do. Because I think it's pretty, what's the word?
Epic.
Okay. All right.
That was a Miranda special, actually.
That was.
There you go.
We were dancing around it, and then she just came up with this big black marker and epic.
I put Yankees, but it didn't work. So it's like,
Wah, wah.
take it.
So,
All right, take Miranda's advice.
okay, so who and what is Enta? Like, it's us, and we've also got a couple of employees. But you know, we like to say we're your passionate partner, transforming your business to be perpetually epic.
That's right.
So, you know, just 2 seconds on what is perpetually epic.
Perpetually epic is when you are able to get out of the whirlwind because it's taking care of your processes, your people, your culture, everything's in place. You can lift your head up, look for the next thing, be the disruptor, transform your business with these guys, and you know, really look to the strategy side of things because your business processes and people and tools are just working perfect.
Yeah, there
And
you go. That's
Love
epic.
that.
These guys helped us get to that. So thank you.
Mhm.
Oh, thank you. This is a
Thank
lot
you.
of fun.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for our first show, I figured it was pretty good.
Hey,
right?
hey, hey,
No more questions.
Yeah.
Where's the hard ones?
Definitely leave a comment if you know, love or hate it.
Yeah.
Let us know. Questions. We'd love for you guys. For
I don't
anybody
want to know if
come
they
on.
hate it.
Yeah, don't tell us
Yeah.
if you hate us.
Private message me if you have anything to say about Miranda. But thank you. This is a lot of fun.
Yeah,
Yeah,
thank
thank
you.
you.
Thank
It's
you.
awesome. Thanks for the bottle.
Cheers.
These are
Cheers,
pretty
guys.
good.
Thanks.
I hope you enjoyed the episode. Remember, if you know somebody that might want to be on Enta Ask, just click the link below.
And don't forget to subscribe so you never miss an episode.